Welcome to an extraordinary tale of triumph, tragedy, and redemption, a story that spans over 5 decades, taking us on a journey from the humblest of beginnings to the pinnacle of success. A journey that weaves together the threads of sports, faith, and entrepreneurship to create a tapestry of inspiration that will leave you breathless. Meet George Foreman, a man whose life has been a testament to the power of the human spirit. Born in the dusty town of Marshall, Texas, Foreman's early life was marked by poverty, hardship, and a sense of desperation that seemed to cling to him like a shadow. But despite the odds stacked against him, Foreman refused to give up. He found solace in the sweet science of boxing, and it was in the ring that he discovered his true calling. As a young boxer, Foreman's talent and tenacity quickly earned him a reputation as a force to be reckoned with. He steamrolled his way through the amateur ranks, winning a gold medal at the 1968 Olympics and setting his sights on the professional world. And it was there, in the unforgiving arena of professional boxing, that Foreman would face his greatest challenges and achieve his most spectacular triumphs. But Foreman's story is more than just a tale of sports triumph. It's a story of redemption of a man who faced his demons and emerged victorious. It's a story of faith of a man who found solace in the words of the Bible and used that faith to fuel his journey. And it's a story of entrepreneurship of a man who took a simple idea and turned it into a business empire. So join us as we explore the remarkable life and times of George Foreman, from the highs of his boxing career to the lows of his personal struggles. We'll take you on a journey that will leave you inspired, motivated, and perhaps even a little bit chained. It's a story that will remind you that no matter where you come from, what challenges you face, you have the power to create the life you want. And it's a story that will introduce you to a man who embodies the very spirit of greatness. George Foreman, the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, was born on January 10, 1949 in Marshall, Texas. His parents, J.D. Foreman and Nancy Foreman, were both hardworking individuals who struggled to make ends meet. J.D. Foreman worked as a railroad construction worker while Nancy Foreman was a domestic helper. Growing up in the poor side of town, Foreman's family had to rely on government assistance to get by. He recalls, "We were so poor we didn't have a bathtub. We had to take baths in big old tub in the backyard." Despite the financial struggles, Foreman's parents instilled in him a strong sense of discipline and hard work. As a young boy, Foreman was always getting into trouble. He was a self-described wild kid who loved to fight and cause mischief. However, one incident changed the course of his life forever. At the age of 15, Foreman got into a fight with a local boy who was bigger and stronger than him. Foreman lost the fight, but he refused to give up. He realized that he needed to learn how to defend himself, and that's when he discovered boxing. Foreman's first coach was a man named Doc Brodus, who ran a local boxing gym in Houston. Brodus saw something in Foreman that no one else did: potential. He took Foreman under his wing and taught him the fundamentals of boxing. Foreman recalls, "Doc Brodus was like a father to me. He taught me how to box, but he also taught me how to be a man." As Foreman trained with Brodus, he began to realize that boxing was not just a sport but a way of life. He fell in love with the discipline, the hard work, and the sense of accomplishment that came with it. Foreman knew that he wanted to spend the rest of his life doing this. By the time Foreman was 16, he had already won his first amateur boxing tournament. He went on to win numerous other tournaments, including the 1968 Olympic trials. Foreman's success in the ring was not just a result of his natural talent, but also the hard work and dedication he put into his training. As Foreman's amateur career took off, he began to attract attention from boxing promoters and coaches. He was eventually invited to train with the legendary boxing coach Dick Sadler. Sadler saw great potential in Foreman and helped him turn pro at the age of 19. The rest, as they say, is history. Foreman went on to become one of the greatest boxers of all time, winning two heavyweight championships and inspiring generation of boxers and athletes. But it all started with a troubled kid from Marshall, Texas, who found his calling in the sweet science of boxing. After dominating the amateur boxing scene, George Foreman set his sight on the ultimate prize, an Olympic gold medal. The 1968 Mexico City Olympics were just around the corner, and Foreman was determined to make the US Olympic team. Foreman's journey to the Olympic began with the US Olympic trials held in Lake Tahoe, California to qualify for the trials. Foreman had to win a series of regional tournaments, which he did with ease. He was then invited to participate in the trials, where he found face off against the best amateur boxers in the country. The trials were a grueling test of endurance, with Foreman fighting 5 matches in just 3 days. He won each of his matches convincingly, showcasing his formidable punching power and aggressive fighting style. Foreman's performance at the trials caught the attention of the US Olympic coaching staff, who were impressed by his raw talent and dedication. He was officially selected to represent the US at the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, competing in the heavyweight division. In preparation for the Olympics, Foreman trained with the legendary coach Dick Sadler. Sadler, who had previously coached boxing greats like Archie Moore and Floyd Patterson, helped Foreman fine tune his technique and develop a winning strategy. At the Olympics, Foreman competed in the heavyweight division, which featured some of the toughest boxers from around the world. He fought 3 matches in total, winning each by knockout or technical knockout. In the final match, Foreman faced off against Jonas Sipulus of the Soviet Union. Sipulus was a formidable opponent, but Foreman was determined to bring home the gold. The match was intense, with both fighters giving it their all. In the end, Foreman emerged victorious, winning the technical knockout in the second round. Foreman's Olympic victory was a defining moment in his career, marking him as a rising star in the boxing world. He returned to the US as a hero, hailed by the media and the public alike. Interestingly, Foreman's Olympic journey also featured a notable victory over a future boxing legend. In one of his earlier matches, Foreman defeated a young boxer named Ion Alexei, who would go on to become a world champion in his own right. Foreman's Olympic experience was a pivotal moment in his development as a boxer and a person. It taught him the value of hard work, discipline, and perseverance, lessons that would serve him well throughout his career. After his Olympic victory, George Foreman was hailed as a hero and a rising star in the boxing world. However, he soon realized that he needed to turn pro if he wanted to make a living from boxing. The incident that made him turn pro was a chance encounter with a wealthy businessman who offered him a substantial sum of money to fight professionally. Foreman was tempted by the offer and decided to turn pro in 1969. Foreman's debut match was as a pro was against Don Wildham on June 23, 1969. He won the fight by technical knockout in the third round, showcasing his formidable punching power and aggressive fighting style. As Foreman's professional career took off, he met Sonny Liston, the former heavyweight champion of the world. Liston, who was known for his intimidating presence and formidable punching power, he became a mentor and friend to Foreman. Foreman has often spoke about the influence Liston had on his career, saying Sonny Liston was like a father to me. He taught me how to be a professional, how to conduct myself in and out of the ring. Before becoming world champion, Foreman fought 37 matches, winning 34 of them by knockout or technical knockout. He fought some notable opponents during this period, including Gregorio Peralta, Levi Forte, and Ron Standard. Foreman's technique was characterized by his aggressive fighting style, formidable punching power, and ability to overwhelm his opponent with relentless pressure. He was known for his devastating hooks and uppercuts, which earned him the nickname Big George. Foreman's aggressive fighting style and formidable punching power made him a formidable opponent, and he quickly earned a reputation as one of the most feared boxers in the world. His intimidating presence and ability to knock out opponents with ease earned him the nickname Dangerous George. As Foreman's reputation grew, so did his confidence. He became known for his trash talking and bravado, which often intimidated his opponents before they even stepped into the ring. However, Foreman's confidence was not misplaced as he continued to dominate his opponents and rise through the ranks. George Foreman's journey to becoming the heavyweight champion of the world began when he became the number one contender by amassing a record of 32 and 0, 29 knockout, earning him the top spot in the World Boxing Association and World Boxing Council ranking. Foreman's opportunity to face the champion Joe Frazier arose when Frazier's scheduled opponent Muhammad Ali was unavailable due to a hand injury. Frazier, confident in his abilities, chose to face Foreman instead, despite Foreman being a formidable opponent with a reputation of devastating knockouts. The highly anticipated match, dubbed the Sunshine Showdown, took place on January 22, 1973 in Kingston, Jamaica. Foreman's coach for the fight was Dick Sadler, a renowned trainer who had previously worked with boxing greats like Archie Moore and Floyd Patterson. Frazier, the reigning champion, was known for his relentless pressure and formidable punching power. However, he was also vulnerable to quick and powerful opponents, which played into Foreman's strength. Foreman's advantages included his size, reach, and devastating punching power, which earned him the nickname Big George. The fight itself was a dominating performance by Foreman. He knocked Frazier down 6 times in 2 rounds, showcasing his incredible power and aggression. Frazier, despite his toughness, was unable to withstand Foreman's onslaught, and the referee eventually stopped the fight in the second round. Foreman's victory was met with widespread acclaim, with many praising his incredible performance. Howard Cosell, the legendary boxing commentator, exclaimed, "Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!" during the fight, cementing the moment in boxing history. Foreman's win marked the beginning of his reign as heavyweight champion, and he went on to defend his title twice before facing Muhammad Ali in the famous Rumble in the Jungle match. The Rumble in the Jungle was a pivotal moment in boxing history, and it's fascinating to dive into the details surrounding this iconic fight. Ali secured the match against Foreman after Don King arranged the fight, offering the then unprecedented $5 million purse to each fighter. This huge sum was made possible by King's partnership with Jerry Masucci, a music businessman who helped organize the event in Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo. Before the fight, boxing pundits overwhelming favored Foreman to win, citing his formidable punching power and younger age. Foreman was just 25 while Ali was 32. The fight took place on October 30, 1974 at the 20th of May Stadium in Kinshasa, Zaire. Foreman trained for the fight by focusing on his endurance and strength, while Ali employed unorthodox tactics, including running in the heat and using a rope a dope strategy. Ali's trainer Angelo Dundee played a crucial role in developing his strategy, which involved Ali leaning on the ropes and covering up to conserve energy while Foreman exhausted himself throwing punches. The pay agreement between the fighters was a record breaking $5 million each. Ali was trained by Angelo Dundee while Foreman's trainer was Dick Sadler. The African crowd was firmly behind Ali, chanting Ali Boumaye, which translates to Ali kill him. This chant was a testament to Ali's popularity in Zaire, where he was seen as a symbol of resistance against oppression. Foreman was late arriving at the ring, and Ali waited patiently for his opponent. When the bell rang, Ali began employing his rope-a-dope strategy, leaning on the ropes and covering up while Foreman threw punches. Foreman's technique involved using his formidable punching power to try and overwhelm Ali. But Ali's strategy proved effective in neutralizing Foreman's attack. Ali's rope-a-dope tactics was complemented by his quick jabs and straight punches, which found their mark on Foreman's faces. As the fight wore on, Foreman grew increasingly exhausted, while Ali conserved his energy and waited for the perfect moment to strike. The fight lasted 8 rounds, with Ali dominating the later rounds. In the 8 rounds, Ali seized his opportunity, landing a devastating combination that sent Foreman crashing to the canvas. As Foreman struggled to get to his feet, Ali taunted him, saying, "They told me you could punch, George, and they told me you could punch as hard as Joe Louis." Foreman realized he was losing in the 7th round as Ali's punching began to take their toll. The final blow came in the 8th round, when Ali's combination sent Foreman tumbling to the canvas. After the match, Foreman was gracious in defeat, acknowledging Ali's superior strategy and skill. Foreman went on to lose to Jimmy Young in 1977 before retiring from boxing for the first time. The Rumble in the Jungle cemented Ali's status as one of the greatest boxers of all time, and its impact extended far beyond the world of sport. The fight became a cultural phenomenon, symbolizing resistance and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. After his loss to Jimmy Young in 1977, George Foreman decided to retire from boxing at the age of 28. Foreman had accomplished everything he had set out to do in the sport. He had become a world champion, earned millions of dollars, and gained international recognition. However, despite his success, Foreman felt unfulfilled. He had grown up in the troubled home, and his early life was marked by poverty, violence, and instability. Boxing had provided him with a way out, but it has also taken a toll on his body and mind. In 1979, Foreman had a life changing experience that would set him on the path to becoming a pastor. While training for a comeback fight, Foreman collapsed in his hotel room, exhausted and demoralized. As he lay on the floor, he felt a sense of desperation and hopelessness wash over him. It was then that Foreman had a profound spiritual experience. He felt the presence of God, and he knew that he had been called to serve a higher purpose. Foreman began to study the Bible and attend church services, and he soon became a born again Christian. Foreman's conversation was met with skepticism by many of his friends and fans. They couldn't understand why a successful boxer like Foreman would want to become a pastor. But Foreman was undeterred. He felt a deep sense of conviction and purpose, and he knew that he had been called to serve others. In 1980, Foreman opened the George Foreman Youth and Community Center in Houston, Texas. The center provided a safe haven for young people, offering them a place to learn, play, and grow. Foreman also began to preach and teach, sharing his message of hope and redemption with anyone who would listen. As Foreman ministry grew, he began to attract attention from around the world. People were drawn to his charismatic personality, his inspiring story, and his message of hope and redemption. Foreman became a sought after speaker, traveling the globe to share his testimony and preach the gospel. In 1985, Foreman was ordained as a minister and he began to pastor a small church in Houston. The church grew rapidly and soon Foreman was preaching to thousands of people every week. Foreman's transition from boxer to pastor was not without its challenges. He faced skepticism and criticism from many people, including some in the boxing community. But Foreman persevered, knowing that he had been called to serve a higher purpose. Today, George Foreman is one of the most respected and beloved pastors in the world. He continues to preach and teach, sharing his message of hope and redemption with millions of people around the globe. Foreman's journey from boxing ring to pulpit is a testament to the power of faith and redemption, and it serves as an inspiration to anyone who has ever felt called to serve a higher purpose. After decade long retirement from boxing, George Foreman made a shocking announcement in 1987. He was returning to the ring. Foreman, now 38 years old, cited his desire to raise funds for his youth center and to prove to himself that he still had what it took to compete at the highest level. The boxing community was skeptical of Foreman's return, with many pundits dismissing him as a relic of the past. Foreman is a joke, said one prominent boxing writer. He's too old, too slow, and too fat to compete with the likes of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Undeterred by the criticism, Foreman began training in earnest, working with his old trainer Dick Sadler and Angelo Dundee. Foreman's return match was against Steve Zosky, a journeyman boxer from Illinois. Foreman won the fight by knockout in the fourth round, showing flashes of his old form. As an older boxer, Foreman knew he couldn't rely on his youthful energy and power. Instead, he focused on using his experience and ring savvy to outmaneuver his opponents. Foreman employed a more cerebral approach, using his jab to control the distance and his footwork to evade his opponent's attack. Foreman won his next 24 fights, earning himself a title shot against Evander Holyfield in 1991. The fight was a highly anticipated matchup between two of the biggest names in boxing. However, Foreman ultimately came up short, losing by unanimous decision. Despite the loss, Foreman's performance was widely praised. He had given Holyfield a tougher fight than many had expected, and he had proven that he still had the heart and determination of a champion. After the Holyfield fight, Foreman continued to box, winning his next few fights before earning another title shot. This time he would face off against Michael Moorer, a young and formidable champion. The stage was set for Foreman's second title shot since his return to boxing, and the world would be watching to see if he could pull off the upset. George Foreman's second championship win was a momentous occasion in boxing history. At 45 years old, Foreman became the oldest ever champion in history, defying the odds and silencing his critics. Foreman's journey to the title was nothing short of remarkable. After his first retirement, Foreman had been out of the ring for nearly a decade. However, he made a successful comeback in 1987, winning 24 consecutive fights before facing Evander Holyfield for the title in 1991. Although Foreman lost to Holyfield, he continued to fight, earning himself another title shot against Michael Moorer in 1994. Moorer, the unified IBF, WBA, and lineal heavyweight champion, was a formidable opponent known for his speed and agility. The fight took place on November 5, 1994, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Foreman, determined to prove his doubters wrong, applied his signature powerful punches, while Murray relied on his quickness and footwork. The fight was a closely contested one, with both fighters giving it their all. However, Foreman's experience and ring savvy ultimately paid off. In the 10th round, Foreman landed a devastating combination, knocking Murray down and securing the win by knockout. As Foreman celebrated his historic victory, the boxing world was left in awe. At 45 years old, Foreman had achieved what many thought was impossible, becoming the oldest heavyweight champion in history. Foreman's post Foreman's post-fight comments were characteristically humble and gracious. I am the oldest, but I am still the best, he said, smiling. I want to thank God, my family, and my team for their support. This is a dream came true. The boxing legends were quick to praise Foreman's achievement, with many considering his comeback one of the greatest in sports history. George Foreman is a true champion, said Muhammad Ali. His dedication, perseverance, and faith are an inspiration to us all. Foreman's second title win marked the beginning of a new chapter in his career. He went on to defend his title against Axel Scholz in 1995 but relinquished his IBF title soon after. He retired in 1997 at the age of 48, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire boxers and non boxers alike. After relinquishing his IBF title in 1995, George Foreman continued to box, but his performances were not as dominant as they once were. In 1997, at the age of 48, Foreman decided to retire from boxing for the second and final time. Foreman's retirement marked the end of an era in boxing. He had accomplished what many thought was impossible, becoming a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Foreman's legacy extended far beyond his accomplishments in the ring. However, he had inspired countless young boxers and non boxers alike with his determination, perseverance, and faith. In his later life, Foreman remained active in the boxing community, attending fights and promoting the sport he loved. He also continued to preach and minister, spreading the gospel to anyone who would listen. Sadly, George Foreman passed away on August 18, 2023, at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. His impact on the sport of boxing and the world at large will never be forgotten. As we reflect on the life and career of George Foreman, we are reminded of the power of determination, perseverance, and faith. From his humble beginning in Houston's Fifth Ward to his rise to become a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. Foreman's story is a testament to the human spirit, ability to overcome adversity and achieve greatness. Rest in peace, George Foreman. Your legacy will live on forever. George Foreman's life is a testament to the power of perseverance, determination, and faith. From his humble beginnings in Houston's Fifth Ward to his rise to become a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Foreman's story is an inspiration to anyone who has ever faced adversity. Through his remarkable journey, Foreman proved that with his hard work, dedication, and a strong support system, anything is possible. He showed us that it's never too late to pursue our dreams, and that with the right mindset, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. Foreman's legacy extends far beyond his accomplishments in the ring. He is a shining example of the impact one person can have on the world. Through his ministry, his philanthropic work, and his commitment to his family and community, Foreman has touched countless lives and left a lasting legacy that will continue to inspire generation to come. As we reflect on the life and career of George Foreman, we're reminded that true greatness is not measured by our accomplishments alone, but by the positive impact we have on the world around us. Foreman's story is a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference and leave a lasting legacy. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and career of George Foreman. We hope you have been inspired by his remarkable story and will carry his legacy with you long after this video.